14 and Memphis was 20. I think both those teams are better than that. That was unbelievable football. Really proud of our team, of our student athletes, our coaches, and really proud of our conference. I think the American Athletic Conference is coming fast, and that was an awesome championship game. We've obviously announced that Scott has chosen to go back to his alma mater. Very difficult decision for him, obviously, as you saw some of the emotion here at the press conference following the game. But I can say I've been talking with Scott throughout the season, and he's been conflicted, and the reason he's been conflicted is because he sees how special of a place this is. This is a unique opportunity that we have here to build a perennial top 25 athletic department, a perennial top 25 football program. That's the charge. The charge hasn't changed. We're still the fastest growing university and the fastest growing city in America with the best recruiting base. This place has more potential, I think, than any athletic department in the country. I want to thank Scott and his wife Ashley for their contributions to the program. I don't think anybody expected the turnaround to happen in just 2 years, and obviously the opportunity and the pull to go back home. And I understand the connection with one's alma mater, so I understand his decision, and now it's my job to prepare as I have been. I think any good athletic director is proactive and prepared, and I can tell you I've been proactive and I'm prepared. I think we have the most attractive football opening in the nation right now, with a young roster with a ton of talent. Obviously the #1 scoring offense in the country, with most of those student athletes returning for next year. And this is just a very desirable place to be. This football job was extremely attractive, and there was a ton of a demand 2 years ago coming off of 0-12. Now coming off of a 12-0, I'm expecting, or I already know, that there's even more interest and more demand. So I will meet with, I'm going to conduct a national search, and I'm going to meet with our team here shortly. I just spoke to the whole team, and right now they're voting on team reps that I'll meet with. Same thing I did the last time. I had to do that over video conference from Buffalo, but that's what I do for all of our coaching searches. Meet with our team, hear from them. I want their input on what attributes they would look for in a leader. That helps me understand where their heads are at, and then obviously I'll introduce the new coach to them as well. So the search will start with our team and will end with our team. Our core values, our #1 core value, student athlete success, and we live by that. So they're our #1 priority. It's going to be a fast search. We got the first year of the early signing date. That's important. Having a new direction for this program is important. But Scott and his staff are committed to this team through the bowl game. So we'll figure out what that means later this week, and get into the details of that. But we kind of got two things happening. We're looking for a new coach for the new direction for 2018 and beyond, and for recruiting. But our current football staff and Scott are committed, as they should be, and they understand these kids deserve their commitment, because we got a really special opportunity to make this season even more historic by winning the New Year's Day bowl game that we're expecting to be invited to tomorrow. So that's just my opening comments. Happy to take any questions, but before I do that, I'll just conclude with, after this press conference, will be my last public comments until I'm introducing our new head coach to you guys. It does. We got to figure out exactly how that plays out, but his mind is very focused on preparing this team, and this whole staff is preparing our team to compete in the bowl, and they're going to coach them in the bowl. There's nobody else that can do it. We can't bring in new coaches and expect us to be as competitive as we want to be. I won't get into the specifics of which programs he talked to. He and I had open dialogue all season, and I think it's fair to say the pull to the alma mater is what won the day. He understands and communicated to me at many times how special UCF is in comparison to some of the other openings from this football season. I wouldn't know. I wasn't a part of it. I'd rather keep our conversations to us, but he was very forthright with me throughout the season. You know, and I started the conversation probably in early October when we both realized we're a heck of a lot better than we should be in year two, and I kind of figured there'd be some interest. Probably not. Uh, I've been preparing for weeks, and just on the possibility, long before I knew if he was going to leave or not. I've been preparing. Can't put a time frame on it just because I'm not going to hire somebody until I get that right feeling. It could be days, it could be weeks. I don't think it'll be weeks, but it's got to get right, and we got to make sure. It's more complicated when it's not a rebuild because you got to make sure you get the right person for this team. You know, we got a lot of talent coming back, and I got to. It's not like we're rebooting and starting a new philosophy or a new brand of football. We got a pretty good team coming back. We got a chance to be really good next year, so that probably makes it a little more of a complex decision. I haven't made that determination yet, but Troy Walters is serving as interim head coach. A good one. The first thing that I'll do, and I'm fortunate to having grown up in this business and working hard my career to build a network. I have people that I can draw on to make sure that I know everything about our candidate pool's character, and I'm not going to bring somebody here that I have any questions about integrity or character. And the coaches that we've hired here are all extremely high character people. And you know, we talk about winning football games and raising money and all the market driven side of what we do, but at the end of the day, the most important thing we do is develop young men and women, and we develop as people, as students, and as athletes, and you got to have a high character person to do that. And Scott Frost exudes that character, and our new football coach will as well. So that's the number one characteristic. We're gonna work on the details on what happens on game day of the bowl game, but Troy will be. Scott is going to not be in the state for some of this time period, obviously. So the team needs a leader day to day, and that'll be Troy Walters, and we'll figure out exactly how the day of the bowl game unfolds. But Scott is committed to do whatever the right thing to do is to give us the best chance to win the bowl game. I wanted whatever was give us the best chance to win the game, and I think that we'll still figure out what that means again for game day. But certainly the staff that's preparing this team for the 12 games that we've won probably know what they're doing to prepare them for the 13th game, and I felt like that was the right thing to do. A new coach coming in is going to be focused on building their staff and obviously recruiting. I have gotten interest from non-conference Power 6 coaches, yes. I don't think it's about bigger school. I think it's about alma mater. You know, this place is really unique, as I said before, and Scott understands that. It was very hard for him to walk away from this. The opportunity that he had here, and I don't think it had anything to do with the size of Nebraska's budget or the conference they're in. I think it had everything to do with it was his alma mater. This is the first year of us kind of getting going at a high level. We expect to be pretty good at football every year. I don't think he went on to something bigger and better. I think he went back to his alma mater, and I think we have a whole lot of competitive advantages in every sport, but especially in football. We're going to win a lot of football games around here, and at some point, we're going to get the respect that we deserve in the national rankings. I'll leave it at that. I don't know. I guess Scott would have to answer that question, but I think it was probably more about the ability to say no to something that's been a part of his life, his whole life, versus maybe being excited about leaving here. But it's hard to identify that. You're in the middle of a season, you're preparing for every game, and it's hard to know exactly when he made that decision. But what you saw in the press conference is real. It's a very difficult decision for him, and something that we talked about for weeks. I had no idea that Nebraska was going to fire their AD because they lost to Northern Illinois. I had no idea that we were going to be as good as we are in year two. But at the end of the day, I was hiring the best coach. I know I wanted that brand of football here, and it's obviously working with the speed and talent in Florida. I thought that we could differentiate ourselves and get nationally really good, and that's what we've done, and that's what we want to continue to sustain. And so that brand of football with the right person to do that, that's where I arrived with Scott Frost, and that's how I'll come up with the next decision as well. A bittersweet day? No, we just won a conference championship. They're taking confetti out of my hair just a short while ago. I'm excited for our team. I'm excited for our kids. I'm excited for Scott. It's a unique opportunity to go coach back at his alma mater. And we'll turn the page on this tomorrow, and we'll start focusing on preparing for a bowl game once we find out for sure which one that'll be. I think today, it's not bittersweet. I think it's a historic moment in the growth of our program. I think about today, it's really the last 7 or 8 days. That South Florida atmosphere, that stadium was unbelievable. I think that's the most UCF fans we've ever had in that stadium. And then today was probably the second most UCF fans we've ever had in that stadium. So I think that was this whole week has been a great step as a program towards where we want to be. That thing should be sold out on a season ticket basis, and we're going to keep grinding until that happens. Not a prerequisite for the head coaching job, but I think I know we've subscribed to this brand of football, and I think it's a brand that it's innovative. That's what UCF is as a university. We're innovative. We're forward-thinking. It's exciting to watch. It's fun for our kids to play. I know most high school kids in the state of Florida already run it in high school, and they like it too. So we're going to continue to play this way. But whether the head coach has an offensive background or a defensive background, I don't want to kind of box myself in terms of I don't want to limit the search that way necessarily. All right. Thank you all for being here.